is a conversation with our DA Federal Chairperson and the Western Cape Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Meyer, as well as our Cape Metro Democratic Alliance Youth Chairperson and Councillor in the City of Cape Town, Tami. Dr. Meyer, Tami, thank you for joining us. I'll start with you, Dr. Meyer. Ons is in die straat. Hoekom?
Dan ons is vandag hier in die strate in Kaapstad, want ons is moeg van die ANC se rasgebaseerde wetgewing. Hierdie wetgewing laat ons terugdink aan die nasionale party se apartheid rasgebaseerde wetgewing wat wil sê waar jy moet bly en vir watter poste jy kan aansoek doen. En daarom stap die Demokratiese Alliansie vandag hier in die strate, want die grondwet van Suid-Afrika bepaal dat ons moet nie rassigheid bevorder. So hierdie is 'n optog vir die beskerming van die fundamentele regte wat vervat is in die grondwet. Mense is moeg vir rasgebaseerde wetgewing. Mense is moeg dat die ANC nasionale regering hulle werksgeleenthede verminder, want ons gaan 600,000 werksgeleenthede verloor as gevolg van hierdie wetgewing wat die ANC reeds goedgekeur het, maar ons hierdie optog as 'n boodskap vir die ANC. Ons gaan dit nie duld nie, ons gaan dit nie toepas nie, en ons gaan dit stop in Suid-Afrika.
Thank you, Dr. Meyer. Tami, let us be frankly honest. This law is a racist law. I'm sure you agree.
I agree with you 100%, Karabo. And what you are seeing behind me today is essentially the start of a massive defiance campaign against this racist act. What the ANC is essentially doing is trying to come back with old pre-1994 apartheid-style tactics, basically reducing individuals to fractions and decimal points. These are human beings whose lives are being affected by this racist act. This is exactly what the apartheid government did pre-1994. And what is so unjust about this act is that they are just repeating it, but under a different name. So we are here today to say that we reject this act in its entirety, and it must be completely scrapped.
100% you're right. Dr. Meyer, you are the Western Cape Minister of Agriculture. Tell us, how does this Quotas Act affect, one, food security in the agricultural sector, as well as water allocation? I'll hold the mic.
Well, what we are seeing here now is that the ANC has included race-based criteria for the allocation of water rights. Now, this will be devastating for the agricultural sector because agriculture needs water, and we will fight this in the court in South Africa because it will firstly have devastating impact on food production. More people will lose their jobs in the agricultural sector. More people will also lose their opportunity to farm. We will have less food production, more hunger as a result of this racial water allocation. It will be devastating to agriculture. In fact, it will destroy agriculture. And here in the Western Cape, we are responsible for 55% of South Africa's agricultural exports. So it will kill all our exports. So this is a dangerous law because it will give the minister powers which he doesn't have in law. So this regulation is illegal and unconstitutional. And as the Minister of Agriculture in the Western Cape, I now give notice to the ANC. I will see you in court.
That is amazing. But first of all, so the alternative, you've mentioned that is court, right? But what else is the DA in the Western Cape doing to make sure that there's an effective supply of water, but also to ensure that we secure our food provision?
Well, we have, for example, raised the dam level of the Brandvlei Dam. Just by doing that, we release water under irrigation for 4,600 hectares, more water for people. Also, we are doing maintenance on the canal in the lower Oregon River because the national government water affairs are absolutely missing in action, and we are now doing maintenance on the canal. But more important, we have started the biggest water irrigation system in Ebenezer for colored farmers living in Ebenezer. So our policies work for redress.
Okay, so Tami, the people Dr. Meyer just spoke about now who are affected in this agricultural sector, they're not just numbers. These are mothers, these are fathers, these are children who are affected, Tami. Just break down more for us, please. How much killing do race-based legislation and racist laws have to communities?
So Karabo, it's actually really quite simple. Just last month, June 2023, the quarterly employment statistics was released by Stats SA, and they basically proved to us that SA is currently experiencing a jobs bloodbath in this country. About 97,000 jobs were lost in the country between March 2023 and March 2022. That's a massive number, essentially equating to about 8,000 jobs being lost per month in this country. So if the country is already experiencing such job losses on a massive scale, one can only imagine the impact that this act is going to have. It's going to add further insult to injury. Another problem with this act is it basically gives the minister powers to make appointments in the private sector in businesses and gives the minister powers which is completely unjustifiable that he or she doesn't have. And that is it's completely uncalled for. Another problem is that the DS research has estimated that about 600,000 jobs could possibly be on the line if this Amendment Act is actually adhered to by the private sector. So you can only imagine the dire consequences it's going to have.
You're absolutely right. There you have it from us here. There's still more to come. I am linking back to you in studio, Nasli.